Yoga, Bombomti, Chini Tanchu, Mungbong.
Can you imagine? I'm just trying to figure out how we got here, really. All she did was point and say, no, he went that way. It was 18 days to get to this point where we are right now. 18 days. Miss Letecia Stauch has been free. I'm trying to say her name more like everybody else is saying it. I just don't understand how she is the baddest one of them all. Okay. But no, you're right. She was telling all the stories. I assume that made the most sense, that they was like, no, we can't. We can't do anything else. Our hands are tied. Like, I think that they really just wanted to go on the hunt so much that the protocol that they followed was like one of them old movie types. Like, everything that they did was like what you see in the movies from back in the day. I don't know if they actually did it in real life, though. And if they did, not understand why, because the shit ain't work. They was literally surveilling her. They had trackers on her car while she was actually going to get the suitcase and move the suitcase with the child in it. They watched her. You got to put up your finger quotes real quick. They watched her do it all. And then they called her on the phone and said, but what did you do? It is not funny. I apologize. Warning, trigger warning. I'm a trigger and ass motherfucker. So if you're easily triggerable, run, don't walk. I ain't got no money, so that $200 when you pass go, you're not gonna get. And if you try to get some money because I hurt your feelings, we both gonna have some hurt feelings. I apologize. But let's get into this.
And so we're going to get into the pretext phone calls, obviously, and that we'll actually be able to hear those things. What I'm trying to do is just get into what you're thinking happened based on what you're hearing from the defendant. And so you said that there was different names being mentioned. Mm-hmm. It's a yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember any of those names now?
Yeah, I think one of the first ones was Eduardo. Or yeah, some version of that.
What did she tell you about Eduardo?
So I'll be honest, I'm having trouble. I think all the different versions are mixing together when they happen. So I don't know. I know there was a story that the defendant told me about. There was a man in the neighborhood, a carpet guy.
So let me ask you specifically about that.
Please.
Did she give you a statement about her allowing a man from the neighborhood that was a construction worker into the house to fix the carpet?
I think the story was she gave him the code. But yeah, somehow he got in the house.
Why didn't you say anything?
I did. I said hello. It's just hard because I have to get service off Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So what's up?
I'm hungry.
You still haven't eaten anything?
No.
Huh?
No.
Why not?
I don't have any money or cards. They have all that. I have all my debit cards, credit cards.
Who has all that?
They have it from my car. I don't have anything from my car.
Oh, you didn't have it with you?
I did. I had my purse with me, but they took my purse, and they took my Apple Watch and all that. They took everything I had possession on.
Why did they do that?
I guess the same reason they took everything that was in my book bag and all they car. I mean, they even took the dog paperwork and my social security card and my birth certificate. My passport, which is why I can't be at the airline because I have to have a passport.
You're not working at the school anymore? I thought you had the early college thing going on.
Right. They took my laptop and they took my car. So I called them and said, hey, I don't have a way to get to work right now. I'm gonna work on that. Should have my car back in a day or two. I'm still waiting, and I don't have a way to get to work. Sure as heck, don't have a way to drive to Denver, and I don't have a passport because I have to have my passport and my crew badge to get on DIA.
So you still
Need to help me get any of it.
who's no one, like the police or whatever?
Like, I've called the evidence department several times and just been like, can I at least get my tax? Can I at least get anything that deals with my everyday life of operating? Like my cards, my passport. And then the guy was like, well, why do you need your passport? I said, well, it's required by FAA to have it with you at all times, or you cannot even get to the airport, can't do anything.
Yeah, you told me that. I forgot. I'm sorry.
So I just want to get my content like that because how am I supposed to work if I don't have any of it?
Yeah, I know.
Placed on hold. Please wait for your contact to return.
Hello?
If you have not watched the video of the gentleman who attacked the judge, please go back and watch. I have 2 videos about that. This gentleman stood before the court and expressed that he was regretful for his actions because when he had those actions in the past, he did not know he was having an actual episode of his mental disorder that he suffered from. He felt as if he should get another chance because now he was aware that it was only due to that mental issue that he actually did those actions. I'm just not sure how that changes the future, but okay, just go with me, just go ahead. If you've been around, you know I'd be confusing and stuff. But listen, for Letecia, she actually had meetings with experts, doctors, after this, when she finally went to jail. Again, we on day 18. Getting with missing on January 27th. Today is February the 13th. Okay? She had meetings with experts and doctors who diagnosed her with issues. One of them took the stand to testify, to express all the reasons. Letecia even said and tried to plead guilty by reason. I was insane, Lord. It wasn't me, Lord. It wasn't me. You know my heart. I was insane. This child has been discarded in an old suitcase with some dirty ass blankets. She's living to the ability that she's able to provide for herself her best life right now. I guarantee if she had them passports, it would be a Adelson. It would definitely be a Donna Adelson. It wouldn't even have been a Donna Adelson. That bitch would have just been on the crew. She wouldn't have been in the runway with a suitcase. She'd have been in full outfit on her way to wherever the next destination was. But because they at least kept her property, I swear, this is the craziest thing. They at least kept her passports and such. She had to plan other ways around. I don't know. Can you imagine this being you in your normal life? You've literally just committed the worst act. The world is crumbling. Like it literally is a tsunami. I would feel like every day. You know when you wake up that few seconds where you have no conscious awareness, like you just wake up and then you realize life and stress and problems. You know, you just wake up and you just start to stretch. You take a deep breath and you literally just realize awake. And then it all comes. Like every moment of every day, it would be trying to relax. And then all of a sudden, remember, you've created this tsunami around you of the worst thing ever. She is normal as fuck talking about she hungry, over there trying to get a little couple dollars and shit. Can you call them and get my ID and stuff like that? when allowed, I was going to say forced, but when allowed to continue her life after the incident as a free person, or free and clear of any responsibility to your actions, look how she acts. Look how she acts. She can plan efficiently. She can plan accordingly. She has thoughts. She has ideas. She has actions to put those in place. She still cares for herself. She still cares for others. She does the things that all normal people do. As soon as they get their hands on her, as soon as they get their hands on her, and she gets to sit down, right, and just have a conversation with someone who has gone to school for a long time, so they call them an expert, someone who knows better than everyone else, who can observe and judge accordingly. These people have said, no, I'll take the stand and shout to the masses. It's not her fault. She has whatever the fuck they said she had. I am amazed, and I can't wait until I get up enough strength, because I'll be lazy, to do the story on the expert who did her trial. When I come out with that video, man, I'm telling you, I'm so excited, because I'm laughing at y'all. I am laughing at everyone who ever went to college in that video. And I apologize now, but I will laugh, and I hope y'all ready, because y'all gonna laugh too. I hope if you got a sense of humor,
Hello?
you gonna laugh at yourself.
Hey,
What happened?
the Wi-Fi, I don't have a number, so the Wi-Fi just dies, so I had to use this Indian dude's phone number here to call you back on, because I only have Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Anyway, so like, I'm not into that stuff. So I'm not trying to purposely not go to work, not do anything. I just need help obtaining any of it to even do anything. So how long can your Uncle Jeff stay?
I have no clue. It's people been kind of jumping in and out, but
I just didn't want you to be by yourself, because I've been trying to be with you, because I don't think that you should be by yourself with them, because it's a bunch of vultures. That's all.
Do anybody else think she was gonna try to get pregnant so she could get one of her lies taken care of? I know she definitely had said she was pregnant a couple of weeks or something like that with twins later on in these calls. She was going to take advantage of that man, definitely. I initially thought she was going to try to take him out, but now looking at the whole case, yeah, she was going to try to get pregnant and have that happily ever after somehow. This is not real life. This is not a real person, right? Right?
yeah, I'm starting to slowly see that. So, but yeah, let's just timeline, because I want to hear your timeline so I can try to make sense of it.
Saturday, okay? You said you wouldn't question, you would just listen.
Saturday, hold on, Tisha, Saturday, like, what do you mean Saturday? Like, right before me and Mama left? Saturday?
After you left.
Okay, gotcha, okay.
So this is the paper I have. I had to get it notarized, because that's what that guy said to do. Right after y'all, whoever found us and took Harley's car, that's where we had left from, was the attorney. But anyway. Alright, so I'm gonna just go through certain things. I'm not gonna read it verbatim how he did it, because it would be more of like in law terms, but, key one, Albert and his mom left for Denver. We put DEN in there. Around the house, cleaned up. G helped with stuff. Helped me get stuff out of his car. Gannon's always barefooted, because that was something that he asked me. Even taking the trash out, things like that. He took the trash out. He stepped on something in the garage. So my car parked. You had those boards that were underneath my car, right?
Yeah.
Gannon was going to go help, because he was saying that there was some kind of piece out there that was going to help me. You know the little zip ties that you have on things and it's hard to get off?
Yeah.
So he knew where something that to go pop those off. So he was going to go get it, because I had bought them some things from the clearance store. All right, so Gannon cut his foot on those boards. We flipped the boards over because we were freaking out, because I was like, oh my God, your daddy said don't get oil or anything from your car leaked on those boards. You know what boards I'm talking about?
The one, like the 2x4s that I have, like that you drive over to park in the garage or whatever. Yeah.
So I let Gannon sit down in the back of the car. You know how funny I am about my car. But also, we just bandaged it up whatever.
Okay, back to the official Reddit timeline. On February the 13th, 2020, Al and Letecia have the first of several recorded phone calls as directed by law enforcement. This phone call discusses the candle incident and one of the versions of Leticia's stories. Investigators continue their work at the family home.
Trash out. I said, you might as well, or whatever. Right. So, during this time frame, Gannon was supposed to be taking the trash out. I said, you might as well go and take out recycle, whatever. But Gannon kept going to the gate with nothing. And I kept saying, why are you going to the gate? He was like, I'm going to make sure the gate is locked. Well, okay, this is the first I'd known. I knew we were talking about locking the gate, but I didn't know Gannon had the key. I thought maybe you just had the key yourself, whatever. I didn't know Gannon had the key.
Babe, he didn't, but hold on. He had, the key was in our room in the, on top of the dresser the whole time. Remember, he kept.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention or remember.
All right.
So he kept going out there with the key and saying that he was checking to make sure the gate was locked. Okay, benefit of doubt, maybe he was, because we had talked about making sure that gate was locked, or been talking to somebody. I don't know. I'm not speculating. I know I got on him about, hey, doing this.
Yeah.
So underneath there was a rug. That rug that we stepped out on, it was a rug. There was blood on it. I had walked on it, and I was like, yeah, we probably should just throw this away and find a new rug to put out here. So it was that. Okay, so then on the next section, it says, I replaced rug, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yep, bam. All right. And then it says, we came in the house, and he immediately ran downstairs to the room. So then I kept going down there because his door was locked. He said he was keeping Lena out, which, again, I didn't question because they always get where one minute they want to play with each other, next minute they're like, get out. Okay? So then I sat on the sofa to put on the Peloton shoes because I was going to ride the bike again because my friends had said they were going to redo a later time that we could do the bike. Anna kept coming in there saying, are you going to stay here? Are you going to stay down here? Are you going to stay down here? So I took it as if he was like excited I was going to stay down there and, just be able to run around and do whatever.
So as soon as y'all got in the house from doing whatever it is y'all was doing, he ran downstairs into his room and locked the door. Okay? Per you, he said he was keeping Lena out. Okay. But as soon as he comes out finally of his room and see you're still sitting there, he says, are you going to stay down here? I take it as if it was more like a lion stalking his prey. Like you were doing other things to this boy and you wanted to torture him a little bit more, so you just sat down there. Like, no. I know I be reading too much into some stuff, but I really, really feel like she was fucking with him a little bit. He might have got on her nerves and she was, I don't know if she had it planned. I don't know. But I do know she was willing to let it go as far as it needed to go. Because she was on the verge of that plan. If that makes sense. I hope it don't, kind of, sort of. Because that was all allegedly, in my opinion. I apologize.
But then I had to go upstairs and help Lena, yada, yada, yada. So I got on my statement, it says I was back and forth, but came back when I heard a loud noise. So there was a loud noise that happened downstairs. So, of course, I run back downstairs and realized, or so I thought, was a box or something fell over in the storage room. Sounded like something was really loud in the storage room, but I assumed that it was a box. Gannon had his door locked, so I knocked on the door. Of course, I'm like, hello, because I hear a lot of noise. And so he opened and said I couldn't come in. And I was laughing. I'm like, why? And he told me he was doing something. I don't remember what he told me he was building. I'm sure it was something about the Toy Cons or Joy Cons or whatever. I didn't think anything of it. Just, okay, he's building something, whatever. But there was a loud noise, and he was in his room. So then, he said his stomach started hurting a little bit or whatever, so I told him to come upstairs. I had some special ice cream. I had these Pedialyte Pops. I had already went and bought them because I thought, this time of year, this is when I got the cold last year, I'll take them. So I let him take the Pedia Pops or whatever, and he took some Miralax. So that was That was a normal day for Saturday. Like, you were already, going on. You probably already got the plane. We all laid down, yada, 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 right?
Right.
We're about Saturday.
Yeah. Christopher.
Sunday, all right? Sunday, we talked to you in the morning. Remember I told you, I sent you a few messages, and I was like, hey, we might go on a hike, whatever. Everyone's going to get dressed, Then suddenly we saw the news about Kobe Bryant. So then, of course, that delayed it because I'm sitting on the sofa crying, trying to figure out, like, oh my gosh, Kobe died. Is this true? Remember, I messaged you. We talked back and forth about it, whatever.
Yeah, I had just gotten to the airport at Lawton when you told me that.
Crying, like, oh my God, like upset. And we were sitting there talking about it. So I was telling them that, hey, Kobe has a lot of daughters. He only had sisters. Gannon went over the whole, like, I don't want you thinking this is irrelevant because I want you to think of anything that I say that might have triggered something.
Yeah, right. I'm listening very closely.
So then we were talking about the daughters, and I was like, yeah, he always wanted a boy, but he never could have a boy. He had daughters, blah, blah. So then I let him in on a little secret, which I already told you over email what it was. Okay, I don't need to say it again. You already know. So me and him were talking about that. He was kind of like, really? And I told him, I said, yeah, like I lost a lot of babies. I said, it was kind of hard. I said, you want one thing and it don't ever happen. I felt like I was in a situation to talk again about this because we're over here upset crying about Kobe. And so I was like, I'm telling you because I know that you'll be able to pray and keep a secret. And we were like, kind of being silly about, this is a secret we have between each other. We'll tell Daddy, yada, yada, yada. So we sat there and talked about that for a little bit. So then Holly got called into work. So I was like, crap. We had everything packed, ready to go on a hike, had the Getty, had everything. We were going to plan on staying for a while and then go get dinner. Well, she got called on a hike. So we decided to take 2 hikes. So this is where all this confusion comes with hike. Harley went, hike, Harley not went. So we took the dogs on a hike through the trails in Morrison Ranch. So if you leave out of our neighborhood, go out to the side, go up to the little whatever, you could take the dogs on a trail, come back, yada, yada. So that's what we did first. Came back. Cannon had his water pack. I'm sure you saw the pictures online from Garden of God that some other creeper people took. He had his water pack on his back or whatever, so we got ready for round 2. So hike 2 was Garden of the Gods. So then it says, Garden of the Gods was our hike 2. So we went about 2 miles in, lots of talking about things. G asked me, did I know any of his mommy's friends from Coastal? It was a random thought process. So I just figured he was trying to be curious about. All right, so I went upstairs. He was on the sofa to watch TV. I told him I'd come back later with him because he wanted to watch something on the show, but I had to get Lena ready, and I promised him I would let him stay up 30 minutes later.
See, this is where allegedly, in my opinion, medication came into play. I believe this was the first dosing to the point where he was no longer super coherent after this. I don't know if they ever asked Lena if she clearly had any remembrance of his demeanor after at any time in the car, in the house. Did she see him go to the bathroom? Anything. Because I think he was basically sleepish when Harley came home. But allegedly, in my opinion, this is when I believe this was a threat. I'll be back in 30 minutes. I think that was a threat. But I definitely believe he was inebriated in some sort of fashion only because this is when the fire happened. And her story switches so much about how that happened. Like, you just got to go with me. I can't say she did it, but I am wholeheartedly believing that this was the first attempt, not necessarily to take him out, but to get enough attention, like the robber incident, to get him to come back home and finally stop leaving and realize she's more important. Building her and letting her grow and flourish into who she wants to be at this stage in her life. Her child is about to be an adult. Her child is about to be in the force. She does not want to be tethered and tied down. It's like being in jail.
I said, I was upstairs, getting Lena ready for bed, yada, yada, yada. Well, then, out of nowhere, the alarm is going off. It didn't start with anything other than the alarm. Lena had laid down. I had went in the room. I was sitting there with the dogs. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I was doing something on Roku. I hear the alarm go off. So I walk in the living room, hit the alarm code in, and I'm just like, alarm code, and it stopped. So I thought, who in the world, was on the alarm code? Then it beeped again. It kept going, and then it started fire. It was yelling loud, fire, 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 fire. And I'm just like, fire? And I look around, don't see any flipping fire anywhere. So as this goes on, I'm like, okay, put the foot in again, it stops. So I'm like, okay, I might get on the phone with ADT because something's wrong with this thing. Remember when we were out of town, the neighbor said she smelled gas and her thing was going off, but then they didn't find anything?
Yeah, right.
So I was thinking maybe it's something to do with this. So that was how my whole process was. So then at that point, I was like, the carbon monoxide thing started beeping. And I ran in there when Lena was at, and I said, Lena, are you asleep? Because I knew, unless I was under some adrenaline rush, and this is not being mean, I would be able to just pick Lena up and yank her out of bed. But luckily, she hadn't fell asleep all the way. I said, Lena, because I thought I was being crazy. I said, do you hear that? It said fire, right? She's like, yes. And so I grabbed Lena, run her outside, run her with the dogs, give her the keys to the truck, throw them in the truck. And I run back inside. Still don't know anything. And then remember, oh my God, Anna. Sorry that for a second I hadn't remembered that because I was trying to still figure out what in the heck fire was that. So I run back downstairs and realized that there's smoke downstairs. I couldn't get it. I was coughing and choking and couldn't get through the smoke part. Run back to the garage. You had these little mouthpieces that you could put over your mouth.
Yeah, dust protectors, whatever.
So I grabbed one of those, put it over my mouth, ran back downstairs, and when I ran back downstairs, again, I was still asleep, not knowing this was going on, and there was fire. I took the cover. There was a whole bunch of tons of cover that was inside that little tan thing, and Gannon had on or whatever, and I just dropped on them. I don't know if that was the right thing to do. If it was the wrong thing to do, I'm sorry. But I just jumped on it and kept jumping on it, and Gannon was right in one of the covers. So Gannon did burn his arms. It wasn't bad. It was almost like, how you get a little bit of oil on it, and it's just underneath the skin, but as long as y'all peel it, it's fine.
Yeah, but hey, Tisha, which arm was it? Both arms or this inside? I mean, but how was it? So, because I remember we talked about that before a little bit, but we never got it.
I feel like it was across the arms. I feel like it was, and I told the investigators this. I said, and I don't want to skip to this part, miss this part. But remind me that. Say this later. I told the investigators later that I said I probably should have looked a little more in depth at his arm.
What if he's hurt? Yeah.
Because it could have been, he wasn't complaining oh, it's hurting. He wasn't saying anything along those lines. But I should have looked a little bit more in depth. Honestly, we ran. So we ran out. I'm sure they got the footage of us. Me running out first because Gannon was grabbing his cover, running out behind there because he was cold.
Hey, what time was this so I can maybe tell somebody to look at the footage?
Well, I mean, I told them originally, I don't have access to the ADT now, but I told them because the ADT said it had an alert for fire.
I'm really concerned about these burns because, he's freaking hurt. What? What were they big? Were they small? What was it? Was it from the candle wax or what?
Let me get to that part. It's not going to worry you in a minute when I get to that part.
Okay, because I'm freaking out right now because.
I understand. So when he runs to the car, he runs in because I'm running. He's running behind me. I jump in your truck. The only reason jumping in your truck is the keys were laying there.
Okay.
I jump in your truck. He jumps in on the driver's side. He's screaming, crying, whatever. Lena's in the back seat with the two dogs. We turn your truck on, and we drive the hell off. Don't ask me why we drove off. I was freaked out because I was like, oh my God. It was the carbon, it was the smoke was more scary and terrifying than actually the fire. So
okay.
All we did was we drove around the block, and And I kind of had to be like, okay, what do I do? A, do I need to call the police department? B, does anybody need medical attention? So then we go back in the house. Lena's freaked out. I put Lena in our bed. I said, Lena.
So you drove around for how long and then came back?
No, I drove around the block.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. Yeah, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, up in the drive. You didn't have much gas because I hadn't put gas in your car yet. You didn't have much gas.
Right.
My process of driving was thinking, oh my God, like I was in shock. So I pulled back in the driveway and parked. We all get back out, go inside. Lena's freaking out, crying. Lena and I are standing there looking at Gannon. At that point in time, I didn't see anything on his hands, arms, or anything other than take your hand where you're holding your phone and look on the insides where the edges are. That part right there had little bubbly spots. Okay? So they had bubbly spots on both sides of his arm. And I think that was from when he grabbed the cover and I was trying to grab him up and he came down with me with the cover because he was like latched onto the cover.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was trying to grab the whole cover to put out the fire. So from the inner parts of his arm had these little bubble spots.
So you said both sides, or is it just the inner parts? I'm just trying to, because this might be key information.
Like both sides, left arm, right arm.
I got you. Okay, so both sides of both arms.
From what I remember, both sides of both arms, because he had when Gannon was laying down, I grabbed him to get him up. Okay, because I remember it was that
Oh God.
It's one of the covers. I grabbed him to get him up, whatever. He gets in the car, whatever, we're talking. He's explaining to me that he thought I was coming and he was grounded from the switch. So he thought I was coming, and when he thought I was coming, he knocked over the candle.
Okay.
Because apparently he was playing the switch when he shouldn't have been playing it, which is fine.
But he had the candle on the couch, I guess, right?
No, he had sitting on some kind of little that little white thing that was sitting next to the couch.
Okay. Oh, I got you. I don't
know if the candle fell over. I don't know. I know that when I got there was a fire and it was on his cover. So I was trying to rip the cover out of his hands to get him up and like jump on the fire. They have pictures of where there's burn marks on my elbow where I jumped on the fire. So we get in the car. And he's crying and screaming and telling me he's sorry and he don't want to get in trouble because of the switch. He was on the switch and he shouldn't have been on the switch. And so we drive around the block and I'm like, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Honestly, I flipping lost my mind because I thought in my mind, like, had I not gotten downstairs when I did, had I not heard it or the alarm system or covering outside or whatever, if I would have hit that couch, I don't know that I could have gotten again. And that was my biggest thing that my brain was sitting there like freaked out on. Come back inside. Lena's terrified. I said, Lena, go lay in the bed. She's laying in the bedroom. And I was like, he doesn't want to go back to his room. Will you lay in Lena's bed? He said yes. He started to say he was cold and had a little bit of shivers. And so I was like, Gannon, I took him and put more clothes on top of him now. Blame it on me. Whatever. I didn't take his clothes off to go through anything, but I asked him, was he hurting? And was anything else, whatever. He told me it was just his arms. So I didn't see anything that would have thrown a flag that I had to be like, oh my God, emergency or anything like that. I didn't see anything like that.
But if his arms was bubbling, that's not an emergency?
Well, it hadn't broke skin. Like, it was just like underneath. It hadn't broke skin or whatever.
Okay. All right. We'll find that out. Maybe the police locked it back up. So, fair enough. So, that just all that kind of is blowing my mind. You know, he wasn't seen leaving. The key to the gate was in the house. The gun was where it's supposed to be. I'm just trying to figure it all out, Tisha. That's all.
The gun wasn't where it was supposed to be because I put the gun back in when you told me to collect them.
Okay. Well, hopefully, I mean,
upstairs.
they got my gun now, so hopefully they can get this Mexican guy's fingerprints. So.
Yeah, would be perfect to me. It's nothing but from day one.
I know, and that's what I'm trying to get. So get all them this information. You know, I think the FBI is in on it now. So we're trying to get them all this information. Look for a fingerprint on the gun. You know, maybe they haven't looked there. Look for a fingerprint on the lock of the gate. You know, stuff like that as the little things that they may have missed, you know, during this process.
Why? Why would they have not have done that? And maybe I'm just upset by this because I feel like they barked up the wrong tree for 2 fucking weeks, Albert.
It's been 3 weeks almost, Tisha. Yes, I agree.
Bothering me.
I agree with you. I'm as frustrated as anybody because I don't know anything. And
So, do you think I did this?
Tisha Stauch, I don't know. I'm just trying.
Really?
I'm trying to help you. Okay, I'm trying to help you get the truth out there. But you've got to tell me the truth. Okay. I know.
Here's what I told the police. The only difference is I thought it was the carpet person, but once I went around because I was freaking out trying to figure out, I was like, if I could go get this fucker and bring him in, and I drove through the neighborhood, the description that I gave El Paso is exactly what I saw. But that is not the exact description that I gave of this carpet person. So my point behind that was, I don't think it was the carpet person because I eliminated him because he didn't have craters on his face.
He did or didn't? So, but let me. Well, hold on. You know what? Something. Remember how? Oh my goodness! Thinking back to this whole that trip you made for the bike. You never found the guy, right? The Craigslist guy.
Started looking creepy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't think that this Craigslist guy had anything to do with you? I mean, not you, but you know what I mean. Oh, I'm freaking out. Sorry. And you don't think that Craigslist guy followed you or just found you? Maybe you told him, "Hey, I'm driving my husband's red Frontier, and I'll meet you there," or something like that. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of anything.
Okay, so let's say it's him. What I don't like is that people are sitting here saying, well, there's nothing that shows you guys leaving. If there's nothing at this point in time, it's starting to get dark. Because in case you didn't know, in Colorado, it's getting dark around that time. Okay? There has to be something that points to that direction that shows any shadows, movement, anything. And if it didn't, it was because the ring sensitivity didn't pick it up.
All right, so listen, I want to be clear with you that I don't give a flip about social media. You know that. I don't have Facebook. I'm not on there, so I don't know what these people are saying. So let's me and you focus on us getting to the bottom of what's going on. Okay, let's try to block out that other stuff so we can get the truth here. Man, this Craigslist thing is really driving me nuts now. Do you think that when did you go? What was the time frame you went there again? You went to Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Because they have whatever time they have me on footage. The first time at Petco.
Oh, at Petco. So after that is when you left.
Because I went back to Petco to get more clothes.
Okay, so you went. So then when did you go back to Petco after the Craigslist trip?
Yeah.
Oh. And you said the guy was already in the house before you got there, you think?
When I got there, the guy was most definitely in the house or had already been in the house waiting or whatever it may be, which is why I thought it was the carpet guy because that was the person that I gave the garage
Yeah,
code.
you gave the garage code to him. Yeah, right.
The more I laid and the more I slept and the more I kept worrying about it and thinking about it and yada, yada, yada. Gannon kept having his room door locked. I was even so terrified to think that this person even spent the night in our home.
Oh, you think he was there the whole time?
I don't know. Do you know how worried I've been about this?
I know, that's freaking me out because remember those other stories you were talking about people coming in the back door and stuff while they thought people were away? I've been going through all that in my head too.
Albert, I've done nothing but look, I have this book right here. You can hear it. It's like of all anything and everything that I thought of that might have been out of order, that
So maybe
you think I don't want my life back? You think I don't want my family back?
I know. Trust me, me too.
I'm tired of being portrayed as one.
Up.
cleaned everything up.
Yeah, from Gannon's room or wherever you got, somebody did bad things to you or whatever.
I was just talking about like the clothes I had on and like shoes and stuff.
Oh, so you just changed your clothes and then threw them away like you said, and whatever Gannon had on, you said you threw that away too?
They got that out of the back of the trash. It was a shirt that he wore that was burnt and stuff like that.
Oh.
That's what I meant, like cleaned up. I didn't mean like clean up anything bad or anything. I'm just saying like I didn't want to keep that stuff on and call it police.
But you told me that first day you cleaned up the whole area because you didn't want Lena to see it when she got home. That's what you told me.
Yeah, my clothes and my underwear. You want me to really go in depth about that?
I'm not trying to make you relive anything that happened to you. I'm just trying to. There's just some truth that I'm trying to find about. I mean, if something was cleaned up or something, then I don't know. Maybe.
Me whatever you're trying to say to me, just be honest.
I just don't want the police to miss anything else, okay? I mean, we think they've missed all these other pieces, and then, I mean, if you cleaned up something that could give them DNA evidence on this Mexican guy, then we need it.
Took my whole DNA from this. They wouldn't let me pee. The hospital bill that I sent you was the whole kit on my body.
But tell me, why did you tell me? I just don't understand why you told me you cleaned up an area, and then now you're telling me you just changed your clothes. That's
When you're talking about cleaning up the area, I'm talking about from Gannon. Like, Gannon had, from his burn marks, there was blood on the wall and on the light switch. So you cleaned up whatever Gannon's stuff, what blood or whatever was, right? Prior.
Oh, where was that at?
In his room when he woke up Monday morning.
But like where? But where in his room? You did say the wall because he had he was wiping his fingers on the wall or something.
I don't know if he wiped his fingers on his wall. I just know his arm probably hit the wall when he was asleep.
Oh, I got you. Okay. He picked his fingernails and I'm just trying to clarify. Picked his fingernails and his blister or his burn mark or whatever.
What do you mean? Gannon picks everything that's open.
Yeah, I'm not.
Why are you acting like you're got me on some trial with this? He picks his fingers all the time.
Babe, because
It's open.
Babe, you're absolutely right about that. But I don't know why you feel like you're on trial. I'm talking to my wife, trying to figure out the truth. And like I told you before, the truth hasn't always lined up. So I just want to find out all the details so we can find Gannon. That's it.
Albert, I gave you every detail. But you're coming at me saying, I thought you did this afterwards. Gannon bleeds all the time.
Right.
Gannon has huge nosebleeds. Did you tell him the nosebleeds from your truck is from Gannon?
When did he have a nosebleed in my truck?
Oh my God, don't even play. It's been there since Alaska. And the top part of your truck, you have his hands had blood marks on it from like a year and something ago.
Maybe. I'm not doubting you. I don't know. I just don't remember that. But that might have happened. I know he has had a nosebleed once in a while. I don't remember that in Alaska.
Nosebleeds are like in Colorado, or at least once every week or two. Every week or two, Gannon has a nosebleed. This is where I get angry. Like, people come up here and talk all this shit, and they don't even know him.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the people are saying on social media. I don't even bother with that. And I haven't for a long time. But I'm just trying to. All right.
Say what you got to say, Albert.
I'm just trying to retrace some steps in my head. So the Mexican guy.
I understand investigations. I'm nosy as hell. I want to ask people all the questions, and I'm going to just sit there for all the answers. I think I should know everything. But I'm telling you, on day one, today is the first phone call. It looks like they were sending texts and they were emailing before this. Today was the first phone call. I'd have found her ass. I'd have found her on the side of the road. And then they'd have found her on the side of the road. I promise you. You is not going to talk to me out the side of your head. You yelling, you raising your voice at all. You're not treating me with the utmost respect, and I feel like any way you're lying to me, I'm gonna come find you. I'm gonna have to. It's my whole motherfucking child. It's not a cat. It's not a dog. It's not a motherfucking kangaroo. It's my motherfucking child. Do you know the oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it. I understand. Yeah, he may have had, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't have made it. I'd have made it to the side of the road where she was, though.
I got a very straight up question, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Did you kill Gannon? I need to know. I need you to answer me yes or no right now.
I killed Gannon.
Did
The
you?
answer is no. I can't believe you asked me this.
I just got to know. You had told me to be straight up. I got to know what's happening to my son.
Tell me why you would think I killed Gannon.
There's a lot of unknowns. I mean, being straight up again, you changed your story again to me for the fourth time.
No, I changed my story.
You did. This is the fourth version of the same story, okay?
Wow.
Like half of what you told me today, with the cut foot, and now he's got burned arms and picking it, and his butt's bleeding. All this stuff is new to what you told me the other day. And the other day you told me you cleaned up the area where you got raped so nobody would see it. But now you told me you just changed clothes. I just don't know what the hell's going on.
I didn't tell you. First off, you never even listened to me about anything that went on.
I did. No, you stopped because I listened to you. I listened to you, and then I went and got the guns and put them in the truck, and then I came back and me and Landon listened to you, and then I stopped and picked your story apart. So get it straight, Tisha. I listened to you, and I said, if I'm wrong about the rape, I will get on my knees and beg you for forgiveness. Did I not say that?
Yeah, but you haven't.
Exactly, because I haven't been proven wrong yet. I want the truth. If I'm wrong, if the police, no matter what they're doing, the FBI, the CBI, the CBS, whoever, okay, if they tell me I'm wrong, I will publicly, in front of the world, get on a camera and tell you I'm sorry. But until that happens, we're going to find the truth.
How can you?
And that was an accident that you're scared about?
Really?
I'm just trying to, Tisha, you know, with my Army training, I'm trained to ask all these questions to get us in a safe place, right? And that's why I took the guns out from the get-go. That's just my training kicking in.
Oh my God, I really thought, I thought out of this conversation, I really thought you were going to be supportive of me. I thought you were going to bring your family back together. And I thought that we were going to talk about everything every single day of nothing but Gannon.
That's what I'm trying to do.
For a second, you would ask me, did I kill Gannon? I can't believe that.
Well, I'm glad you said no. That gives me a lot of hope and peace.
I told him about how maybe, just maybe, you might have a brother. Maybe. We talked about, we cried about Kobe. We did a lot together.
What
What hurt, Kevin?
was Monday when you were driving around and he left the house? The last time we heard him speak, I don't know. I don't know when that was. Before I left, probably. When I left and he went downstairs to watch Pokemon. That's the last memory I have of him.
Albert, let me tell you something. People don't have the life that I have. People don't just be a normal person, just doing their thing, finally had what they want to do and be in the sky, working. Oh, they don't do that. People premeditate things in life. There's no sign or indications of anything that I would have ever hurt those children. I fought for you. I fought for them.
Yes, you did. You fought for all of us. You're right. I'm not questioning any of that, Tisha. I just did an accident happen? I mean, other than the candle or the burn? I don't know. I'm just trying to ask all the questions.
I've worked with children long enough, Albert. If an accident happened, I'm smart enough. I know what to do. I've had plenty of friends who've been in situations where they've been in the classroom. They accidentally dropped the kid. The kid might have broke their leg. You go to the people, you tell them it's an accident, and you work through it.
Okay, so all right, you also said something that was calmed my heart, tremendously about Bubba. That basically you didn't premeditate anything. So whatever happened to him had to be an accident, just like the candle. And obviously you wouldn't plan on something like that because you're a teacher and you do all those babysitting events. I know you wouldn't hurt kids intentionally, but whatever happened was an accident, and I know you didn't plan it.
I didn't have anything to do with it. Why are you saying this to me?
So he would have had to have died naturally then. Other than
He's dead.
I don't know, Tisha.
I can't even believe you are saying that. Gannon is alive. What's wrong with you?
Because it's just this. None of this makes any sense. I mean, he would have been found by now. Okay, he didn't. All the cameras, all that footage shows him not leaving the house, other than in the truck. And I like I said, I'm just trying to help you get through this.
Help me.
Yes, help you because.
Help me get through this.
Because I am trying to help you. I want to know what happened to Gannon and try to help you and keep Harley safe in everything that I've said the whole time because that's who I am and you know that.
See what y'all think. This is what y'all think. Y'all think somebody's gonna come in here and say something just to appease everyone. But a true person who is completely innocent, you can keep beating me down in the ground all you want to because I didn't do it.
I'm not beating you down.
You think you don't want me anymore? Fine. You don't want our family anymore? Fine. You took my car. You took my car. You took everything.
I didn't take anything. They got all my shit too, Tisha. My question. I mean, answer those questions for me.
That's the first question.
All right. Did you kill Gannon?
No.
Okay. Did Gannon die on your watch, whether it was an accident or naturally from some injury?
No.
Okay. Did Gannon have an accident of a serious nature and you freak out and cover it up?
No.
So the answer is no to all of that.
Correct.
Okay. Now this is going to be very uncomfortable for you, even more uncomfortable than what I just asked you. But did Harley kill Gannon?
God, no.
Okay, any of the same questions, did she have anything to do with an accident, a cover up? Was she involved in this at all with you?
No. I haven't been involved either.